Hey guys, we're Ali and Gary with Roll With Us DMs, professional game masters with over 17 years of experience that also love to go on some side quests with our friends, which you can see here on our channel.
Thank you for checking out our videos. If you haven't already, you should quest down to the subscription button and strike the notification bell so you never miss our content.
Our links are in the description below.
Consider becoming a channel member to access epic perks, including playing in one of our games. Now, on with the video.
Today we're playing Aliens RPG by Free League, the starter set module called Chariot of the Gods. I'll be hosting as Mother, the computer system aboard most of the ships in the Alien universe. Our crew of space truckers are on a perfectly normal run called the Gambit from Anchor Point Station to the newly founded colony of Sutter's World. They hit a minor little bump, but here's our crew.
Hi, I'm Gary, one half of Roll With Us DMs. I'm also co-owner of Top Notch Ceramic Trees. Links to our sites are in the description. Today I am playing John Wilson, the Wayland Company agent. I will be observing the captain and her crew to make sure that they stick to regulations, and I will report my findings to corporate.
It is I, the glorious Stump King, forever GM, and tonight player on this wonderful alien game, where I'll be playing Leron Cham, roughneck engineer, who's there to be your pal.
I'm Kaya. New to the Aliens RPG, I'll be taking up the role of Kayla Rye, the underpaid, undervalued roughneck of the Montaro's crew.
Hello! My name is Zanny. You can find me on twitch.tv/ss4zanny. For those who are interested in keeping their beards nicely soft and smelling amazing, feel free to use the promo code ZannyPator at beardsorcery.com for 10% off your order. Today, I will be playing the role of pilot Leah Davis. She's a feisty one with a touch of sass, but when the chips are down, she's who you want flying you around.
Hi, my name is Jasmine. I am playing Lori Clayton, company agent to Wayland. Yes, pre-Wayland Yutani on the USCSS Cronus. Nevertheless, I will finish out my contract.
Alright, so today I'm sitting down with John Wilson. We just finished Act 1 and we are heading into Act 2 of Chariot of the Gods, part of the Alien RPG with Free League. And how you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good about my objectives. I think I have everything on schedule.
And what were those objectives for Act 1?
Well, I knew that there was going to be a diversion to investigate the Cronus. And while I reprogrammed Mother to say that I was only out of cryo for an hour and change, I was actually out for quite a while.
Quite a while. Doesn't that mess with your mental capacity in Alien?
See, I don't have that squishy biological problem that the others do.
Ooh, do we have a secret android on the ship?
Well, I have not revealed that to the crew yet, but you would be correct.
And with that secret android self, do you also have a secret agenda that you're hiding?
Are you insinuating that I might have messed with the Montero? Because you would totally be right. I needed to remove it from the equation, and I think I succeeded at that quite well. Missing wires, indeed.
And are you actually working for Wayland Yutani as a Wayland Yutani agent?
Well, that is my cover story. I am actually working for Bionational, a corporate rival to Wayland Yutani, but I think I have done quite a good job of hiding that fact by championing Wayland Yutani non-stop, including with our new Wayland company agent. Wayland indeed. I have also tried to highly caffeinate the crew, because highly caffeinated people are stressed people. Stress helps biological beings perform better, unless they get a twitch. And then I have learned that biologicals reduce their stress with a substance called alcohol, which I attempted to give to the pilot when the pilot had a nervous twitch. But the captain did not approve of that. I will point out that I told Davis to make sure she docked the ship before she drank. I was not endorsing drunken piloting. That would be irresponsible of me, even though I did sabotage the ship. I also was able to get the entire crew, what remains of it, onto the Cronus. I would say I have been quite successful. I've gotten the ship functional. Now I just need to find where the xenomorphic material is being kept and make sure that we get the Cronus and that material back to Bionational. Bionational will use that information to crush Wayland Yutani.
Okay. So your next act's agenda is the discoveries on the Kronos are beyond your wildest dreams. It's dangerous to be sure, but if you pull this off and manage to salvage the xenomorphic material, you can parlay it into a fortune. No matter what, Special Order 966 is your goal, but don't risk open confrontation with the rest of the Montero crew. You still need them. How do you feel about that?
Well, 966 says that my use of force is authorized. However, as my agenda states, I do need the crew's help. So I will attempt to coerce them from the shadows, as I have already. And if needed, I will use force. However, I will try to avoid that, and I will try to maintain my concealment of my android nature.
Awesome. Any other parting thoughts before I move on to some other crew?
Well, I have seen a lot of potential in several of the members of the Montero crew, and if I can kind of cultivate them into my helpers, then that will aid my agenda. Rye, for one, has taken on the role of captain in the absence of the captain, and I have seen a lot of potential in Cam's work ethic. I am kind of surprised, but he has really had some amazing feats of fortitude when pushed to his limit.
Such as killing a xenomorph on the outside of the ship after it killed his captain?
I mean, I, the player, know that, but I, John Wilson, do not know that. But I have seen him perform when we needed to fix the electrical. When Rye was having a hard time, and he was able to pull it off. His successes and Rye's successes are duly noted. Davis, I'm unsure of. A little twitchy. And a little confrontational. We'll see. I will keep an eye on that one.
Do you think, so you're not sure if Davis would be up for a promotion? Getting back to...
Her flying skills were adequate, but I am unsure that she has the personality for it. And this new company agent, well, as long as she knows her place, which is under my direction, everything will be fine.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me today. And we will pick back up next week with the beginning of Act 2.
Yes. Well, there's nothing like a corporate ladder match. Except I don't care about the Weyland-Yutani corporate ladder anymore. So she can have that ladder and I'll just kick it out from underneath her.
Wow, okay. Alright, so today I'm sitting here with Stump. We are talking about Act 1 into Act 2 for our Aliens game. For the first act, his agenda was for Cam, do your duty and help your fellow crewmates as best you can. I definitely think you did that. How you feeling?
And I'm ready to throw down with the Chupacabra. Mm-hmm.
Yes, the Chupacabra. You were almost taken out by that a couple of times.
It tried. It's like, fortunately, I wasn't able to save the captain. It's like, the captain, no.
How are you
Didn't know the damn thing could one-shot us.
Yeah, aliens are dangerous.
It's like, it's like, that, because the point of the game is supposed to be an unbalanced, like, 1v, like, many.
Yeah. It's very different than, like, D&D and Pathfinder, and yeah, the aliens are definitely the most dangerous of the most dangerous.
Yeah, it's expected, it's a horror genre game. But now the thing is, I'm now imagining how terrifying, like, trying to recreate a game that recreates the second movie.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, one of our mutuals would probably know. Does he have, like, a Saloon have a game where it's a bunch of Marines taking them on?
Mm-hmm. Yep, he's running their new Free League's new game, Colonial Marines. And they are, right now they're in an intense battle of wits for trying to save a planet. They're having a good time with that.
Well, we get to experience space horror.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that it's like, just based on what I know, I don't know anything about the game stuff. It's like, just like I know from movies, like with that we're fighting the proto-alien, and I have a feeling that the standard xenomorph may come later via unpleasant chest burster.
That may happen. That, it definitely is part of the game. It could be here somewhere. So in Act 2, your agenda is the crew is in danger and the crew is your family. Protect them with your life if need be. I feel like you were doing that in Act 1. Do you feel pretty confident going into Act 2 that you'll be able to continue keeping that up?
Definitely, as a forever GM, it's like one of the things you kind of have with, I mean, also with various other aspects of my background, the fear is not really a thing I have. So it's like, if Cam dies, he dies. It'd be unfortunate, because he's pretty fun to play. But yeah, it's like I'm gonna risk it all and try to take that thing out anytime I can. Did it once. It's like gonna say what? I went 2 rounds. I came out, with that thing and came out alive.
Now, are you thinking that the thing that was on the, actually no, you would know that these were different things. Something is still inside of the ship, your chupacabra that ran away from the reactor room. Are you thinking about hunting this thing down, or how are you
Like, I
thinking
mean,
about taking care
it
of
came after me outside the ship. It's like, it's already. I'm already the hunted at this point.
Okay,
See?
cool. So you're thinking that there's only one. I like it. All right.
Oh, I didn't even think of the possibility that there may be more than one. Oh dear.
Very cool. Yeah, any other thoughts about the game?
Oh. Hopefully, if I when I get have to switch my backup, it's also a decent one. Or at least if Cam dies, I go out bringing the creature at least close to being down.
Nice. You don't want a chest burster coming out of Cam, is what you're saying.
That would be unfortunate. It's like, but I haven't seen any strange Easter eggs around, so.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Yeah. Any other final thoughts before we close this off?
I look forward to the next session.
Awesome. Yeah. Next week we will pick up with Act 2 of Chariot of the Gods with Free League. All right. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and we will pick up next week.
Woo. Beware of the chupacabra.
So, Rai, for the first act, your agenda was to find any angle to get more money out of this shit cargo run. Your sick brother back home needs the cash badly. Do you think that you made that agenda?
Well, got a promotion, even if it's a temporary, from our company agent. And he said it came with more money, so yes.
Currently, your buddy and rival are Cam and Miller, respectively. With the loss of Miller, how you feeling?
It's like a weight coming off of her shoulders. She doesn't have to worry about, the oppressive glares and things like that of Miller standing above them, telling them what to do, while not actually knowing what the heck is going on. But, her death was sad. It's always a shame to lose somebody, but, it's also another obstacle that's just no longer there.
Have you thought about taking on another rival? There was someone else vying for the captain's position.
Yeah, Leah thought that they'd be good with them being the pilot and all. It would probably be Leah. They'd probably be the biggest obstacle to this. Not fully sure how comfortable they're going to be with Rai taking charge.
You've been pretty chummy with Wilson. Are you thinking about changing your buddy?
No. Wilson's a mean to the end. Or a means to the end. he's somebody who can be used as a means of securing more influence and monetary.
Nice. What are you? How do you think the game's gone so far through Act 1?
Well, I was not expecting Miller to be the first to die. Generally, you know, the schmucks who get sent to do all of the fixes are the ones that die, and Cam came close on so many occasions. But he's holding on. Think it's going well. I think that I'm a little surprised at how little stress I've had to deal with.
Yeah, you've been pretty calm through this entire.
Yeah,
act
it's
so
like
far.
it's nothing.
It's just another space run. It's fine.
Exactly.
So for Act 2, your next agenda is search the Cronus for cash or any other valuable items that you might be able to sell back home if you survive. The ship is derelict anyway, right?
Well, we are trying to fix it up to get our ship back because somebody decided sending it in further into space was a good idea when just opening the door was fine. But definitely think that there's some valuable things online. I'm pretty sure little alien things in a jar. You know, someone's going to want that.
So you're going after all the alien specimens, see if you can sell them somewhere?
Well, if I can get any of them, those aren't exactly things that you can fit in a pocket. So it would be half convincing others that it's a good thing to bring them along, and then, you know, once returning to port, making way with things.
Nice. So how are you heading into Act 2? How are you feeling? What's the plan?
Plan is to prove to Wilson that I am a better captain than Miller could have ever been. Keeping an eye on Leah to make sure she doesn't usurp my position in any way. Trying to keep Cam alive. And maybe searching for other things that to bring aboard. Valuables and such. Little worried about our new older agent from way back when, as that them and the crew are probably going to view everything on the Kronos as theirs, even though their mission was a failure decades ago.
Yeah, how do you think this is going to play out between Clayton and Wilson?
I feel like there's going to be some butting heads, both of them probably thinking they're in charge, especially once, you know, we get the Kronos running in order to get our ship back. You know, could create some issues with command.
Nice. Any final thoughts on the game, on Rye, on where the game is going?
I think the game is going well. It's definitely an interesting and different system than what I previously have been used to. I'm liking Rye as a character. Hopefully I am doing, you know, her justice.
Yeah, you've never actually played Aliens before. You are mostly D&D, 5th edition.
Majority, with a little Pathfinder here and there, of both 1st and 2nd edition.
So we haven't really been in space much, but how are you liking being in space?
It's interesting, being somewhere where you're relatively contained, despite being able to technically go anywhere. It's just that there's nothing in most places, so it's a little odd that, you know, you're just always on the same platform, basically.
Okay.
No new cities or things like that.
Yeah, nothing new to explore at the moment.
No.
Cool. All right. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for playing, and we will see you next week with Act 2 of Chariot of the Gods.
Captain Rye signing off.
So today I'm sitting here with Zanny. He is playing Leah Davis, our pilot on the Montero, which is currently drifting off into space. Leah, how are you feeling about your ship just drifting now?
I think we need to find a way to get it to where it's back under control so we can stop the drifting.
So what do you plan on doing about the current ship, the Kronos?
I think as far as the Kronos is concerned, we should probably try to find a way to either sync navicomputers so we can both make it back to base, or at the very least, we should be able to contact base to have somebody come pick them up. Because our goal was to, at the very least, get the Montero safe and sound. And the Kronos was basically just a distress signal that we picked up en route.
And the Montero is probably miles away at this point. With that nice little
we need
maneuver
to
that
figure
you
out
did.
how to get that back.
Okay. So in Act 1, your agenda was, God, these cargo runs are fucking boring. Take any chance to break the monotony.
I would say that fighting an alien or whatever this thing is a good way of breaking the monotony, because you don't typically fight those every day.
So how did you feel about your pill bottle getting revealed to the rest of the crew?
I suppose at this point, what's done is done. I mean, there's not really much we can do about it.
Okay. So that kind of leads into your Act 2 agenda.
Okay.
Shit, you really need another fix right now. Search the labs on the Cronus for stimulants.
Oh, okay.
Leah, how do you plan to get your next fix?
I think my best plan is going to be to find proper time to put the ship on autopilot and basically just start searching the place.
Cool. Are you going to try to get to the science labs by yourself, or are you going to search them with other people?
I think I'll probably start by myself, and if anyone happens to ask what I'm doing, I'll see if I can get them to join me, because as the saying goes, two heads are better than one.
Awesome. So what
I mean,
do you...
it's not like they don't know about it already.
Okay. So how are you feeling about all of these new people that are coming out of cryo?
On the one hand, it's one of those where it's like, now we've got more people to worry about, but at the same time, it's also one of those where it's like, this breaks up the monotony.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, how do you feel about this going forward? Other than searching for your meds, what are your goals?
I think my next goal would be to try and either reconvene with the Montero, or, literally speaking, reconnect, and try and get a hold of our base to let them know what's going on. Because at this point, I would wager they have no idea that we are not either aboard the Montero or, at the very least, on the Kronos.
Okay.
Because we we weren't actually able to let them know.
Right. Okay. And you were talking earlier about how you no longer have a buddy. How are you feeling about Miller's death?
Miller will be missed for sure. They were very productive, for starters.
Okay.
But they were also a good way to have someone to talk to that I know that I can actually confide in.
Okay. And how do you feel about Rye vying for captain now?
That's an interesting experience, in my opinion, especially now that she's buddying up with Wilson. It's got me on edge at this point, because part of me wonders if Wilson is one of those where it's like, I still honestly don't know if I fully trust him, and she's trying to buddy up with him. It makes me wonder if I can trust her.
Okay.
Will I tell her that? Probably not. Not exactly the most professional thing to do.
That's fair. Have you thought of a new buddy for yourself?
I think at this point, my best shot would probably be Clayton. Especially considering she seems to see how I see about Wilson. And so my argument is an enemy of my enemy is a friend.
There you go. All right.
Not to sound crass, but I mean...
Yeah. All right. Is there any other final parting thoughts about what's going on in game right now and where game is headed?
Having not gotten to this point in the game, I am very curious to see how things go.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to sit with me today, and we'll pick up next week with Act 2 of Chariot of the Gods.
Awesome.
So right now I'm sitting with Jasmine, who was previously playing the captain of the Montero Miller, and is now taking over Clayton, the company agent on the Kronos. Jasmine, Miller's agenda in Act 1 was to follow company protocol, get the job done and cash in. Don't do anything to risk your paycheck. Maybe the next run pays better. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like you accomplished that agenda?
I feel like I died in the name of company protocol, and they should give my family big workers' comp.
Nice. Was that written into your contract? Do you think that Wilson will make sure that that gets done for you?
I don't know if I trust Wilson. These company types just want every last dollar they can squeeze out of you.
That's interesting that you took on the company agent for the next act. Okay. I love it. Love it. So how do you feel about Miller's death?
It was very quick.
That's true. One swipe. Cam seemed pretty upset by it.
Yeah, it was pretty upsetting to witness that. Probably thought he was gonna die.
What do you think about Davis and Rye already vying for your captain position?
Someone's gotta be captain if there's no captain, so that makes sense. Someone's gotta be in charge.
Who would you want to see in charge out of the two of them?
My buddy Davis.
Okay. Alright. So I know that we put it up on on YouTube for people to kind of vote on. We'll probably get their answers by the time we're in Act 3. But I'll be interested to see who people choose and who people vote for. But for the next act, you chose Clayton, the company agent.
Yes.
Your new personal agenda is bring a sample of the 26 Draconish strain back to the company, no matter who you need to kill. This is a little bit different than your previous character.
Yep.
Are you gonna work together with Wilson to try to accomplish this, or are you gonna try to by yourself?
Try. If he doesn't get in my way. Just depends on him.
Nice. Now on the Kronos, you actually have an EEV, so you have an escape pod. It can't carry everyone, but are you thinking that maybe you'll use that at some point in Act 2 or 3?
100% if I can get to it.
Nice. What are you thinking about all of these new people on your ship?
Well, I'm glad they're there to wake me up. I just hope that they can figure out their own way out of here, because I got a mission. I gotta finish my contract. So it's gonna suck for them, but you know, at least they were here when I needed them.
And what do you think about Wilson trying to get you to sign a new contract with Wayland Yutani instead of just Wayland?
I need to be in a place to negotiate my own terms for a new company, but I feel like because people could be in like cryo sleep for a long time, that I should be grandfathered in. So I don't foresee a problem with that so much. But now is not the time. I feel like that's something that should be done after.
Awesome. So what are you envisioning for Act 2? How are you kind of planning to head into this with your new character?
Gonna have to be a little bit more cautious. I believe I do know what's on the ship, right? I've seen it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, a little bit more cautious. Maybe a little bit more cagey.
Okay. Now you were inoculated to these spores that are floating around the ship. Are you going to warn others of this and make sure that they get inoculated, or are you just going to hope that they get infected?
I definitely don't want them to get infected. That just doesn't help anybody, and that's just going to cause more problems. So I should probably do something about that.
All right. Any other final thoughts on the game in general?
I'm having a good time. Hopefully this character lasts a little bit longer. Do I have my... I don't have my gun on me, right? That's in my room?
Yeah, it's in your room.
Okay, first things first, gotta get that gun. Gotta get everyone inoculated, and then I gotta go to my room.
Priorities. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And we will be back next week with the beginning of Act 2. So, very excited about that.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the content that you just saw, consider joining one of our games at startplaying.gaming/rollwithusdms.